Rogers.
Uh-huh.
Okay, ma'am, we're ready. And the court is calling Nicole Rogers. The case number is SP 118-25261, Nicole Beverly Rogers. The charge is no insurance. Also count 2 of the same ticket, allowing an unlicensed driver to drive. Both matters are scheduled for trial. Ms. Rogers, please say your name for the record.
Nicole Rogers.
Thank you, ma'am. And who's representing Ms. Rogers?
Good morning, Melita Baird on behalf of Nicole Rogers. Judge, she wants to waive her rights and plead guilty to the offer.
Thank you. Ms. Rogers, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes.
Were you advised of your right to a trial, Ms. Rogers?
Yes.
Ms. Rogers, you know, if you were to have a trial, normally it would take place in person inside the 36th District Court. But because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public. And so you've agreed to participate on the Zoom technology today, is that right?
Yes.
Ms. Rogers, did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea today?
No.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes.
All right, Ms. Rogers, please raise your right hand and be sworn. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes.
You may lower your hand. Now, Ms. Barrett, what is the offer that Ms. Rogers has been given by the prosecutor?
She's going to plead to allowing the unlicensed driver to drive, and it's going to be delayed.
Is that a 3-month delay?
I think.
She's muted. I'm sorry.
Ms. Barrett?
I'm sorry. Yes, it is.
And Ms. Barrett, is the other matter being dismissed?
Yes, that's correct.
All right. Ms. Rogers, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending 825262, did you allow someone who is unlicensed to drive a vehicle that you owned in the city of Detroit?
Yes.
All right, who was that person, Ms. Rogers?
My daughter.
All right, ma'am. The court will accept the guilty plea. I'm sorry, I forgot to ask Ms. Baird, are you satisfied?
Me?
Yes, yes.
Court will
Yes.
accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will also accept the recommendation to delay the sentence for a period of 3 months, which means, Ms. Rogers, if you have no other tickets of this nature, the court will dismiss this matter in 3 months. Now, Ms. Rogers, how old is your daughter?
She's 26.
Okay, and she's never had a valid license?
Yes, she has.
Okay, well, she doesn't have one now. And if you allow her to drive your vehicle, you will be.
She don't drive my vehicle no more.
Okay, so if you have no new tickets of this nature in 3 months, we can dismiss this charge, provided you pay the fine of $125. Is there any other mandatory fee connected with this charge, Madam Clerk?
Your Honor, the statutory costs are $190,
Oh, okay.
and with your fine at $125, or I mean, unless
190 and 125. So that's going to be $315. And Ms. Rogers, we can give you 30 days to pay, and the other matter previously read into the record will be dismissed. Do you need more than 30 days to pay that $315, Ms. Rogers?
Yes, I do. I'm on Social Security disability.
All right, how about 60 days, Ms. Rogers?
That'll be fine.
Thank you. All right, we'll give you 60 days to pay. And you know, you can pay that online, 36districtcourt.org, or online on the DivDat app, or at the kiosk in the lobby of the courthouse. Any
So
questions?
the doors are still open at 36th District where I can go in the kiosk?
In the lobby, I believe you can still go in for that purpose.
Okay.
All right, anything else?
Do I need my case number or anything?
Well, you can put your name in and it should come up under your name. But yes, if you don't, if it doesn't come up under your name, your case number, it will come up under your case number. Do you know that case number? Do you want me to give it to you?
I got the ticket case number, SP
Go ahead.
11825-261-OT.
No, yours is, the one you're paying is 262. So the last number will be 2. So it's everything that you said, except the last number is 2 because it's count 2.
Okay.
All right, ma'am. Anything else?
No.
You may disconnect from here.
315, right?
315,
315. Okay.
60 days. Thank you so much. Thank you for your patience.
Uh-huh.
You may disconnect, and the court is calling Raphael Roberson. Raphael Roberson. And the case number is SP 12118811. Raphael Roberson, the charge is no insurance. Did Mr. Roberson just? Raphael Roberson.
Yes.
All right, so the charge is no insurance. And count 2 of that same ticket, Mr. Roberson, is an accident case. The reference number is 099. If Raphael Roberson is in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Raphael Roberson.
Thank you. And who's representing Mr. Roberson?
Melita Baird on behalf of Mr. Roberson. There's an offer for him to admit responsibility to the civil infraction and dismiss the misdemeanor.
Okay, so the civil infraction is count 2. The
Yes.
accident
Yes.
reference 099.
That's correct.
Okay, Mr. Roberson, you've
Yes.
heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes.
And sir, were you advised of your right to a trial?
No.
Well, you aren't really, because you're pleading to a civil infraction.
Okay.
But normally you would be able to, but you are entitled to a formal hearing. Did the lawyer advise you of that right, sir?
No.
Ms. Barrett, did you have an opportunity to speak to Mr. Roberson at all, ma'am?
Yes, I did. Today is his formal hearing and his trial date, and the officer is here. And he said he wanted to take the offer as opposed to have the hearing and the trial.
Okay, did he know that what his rights are? In
Well,
other words, okay. Mr. Roberson, you still have rights, sir, even though this is a civil infraction.
Okay.
So you've been brought to court. You were brought both for misdemeanor offense as well as for a civil infraction. You have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford an attorney on the civil infraction, the court will appoint one for you. You may have to repay the expense of a court-appointed attorney. You have the right to call witnesses for you at trial. You have the right to see, hear, and question all witnesses against you at trial. You may be a witness for yourself, or you may remain silent. You are presumed innocent until proven guilty on the misdemeanor offense. Beyond a reasonable doubt. On the civil infraction, it is by a preponderance of the evidence. If you plead guilty or no contest is accepted, you will not have the right to a trial of any kind. You have the right to be released on bond. This is really pertaining to the misdemeanor offense.
Okay.
If you are now on probation or parole and you enter a plea of guilty, or no contest, or a finding of guilt is made by a judge or jury, it may result in a violation of your probation or parole. You can be sentenced to jail and fines plus costs. That's only on the misdemeanor offense. Fines and costs and other obligations will be imposed by the court. You may appeal to a circuit court within 21 days. This is again only on the misdemeanor offense. Do you understand your rights, Mr. Roberson? All right, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Since the offer is to dismiss the misdemeanor offense, and since you have told the attorney that you wish to plead responsible to the civil infraction only, now that you know what your rights are, sir, do you wish to go forward with that offer from the prosecutor?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I really don't need to swear you in or take a factual basis for the civil infraction. I merely need you to plead responsible on the date, time, and location indicated in the ticket ending in 18812, where you're driving a motor vehicle in the city of Detroit.
Yes.
And was there an accident, Mr. Roberson?
Yes.
Okay, sir. And were you responsible for that accident?
Yes.
And Mr. Roberson, do you recall what was the accident, the nature of the accident?
I was rushing this morning to get my son to school, and I was sitting at the light, and I turned around to give my son something. And when I turned back around, I seen the car next to me go up, so I was under the assumption that the light turned green, and I hit the gas, and I just bumped the guy fender that was in front of me.
Okay.
Well, his bumper.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Barrett. Are you satisfied? Ms. Barrett, are you satisfied? Well, the court is satisfied. The court is satisfied with your responsible plea. We will accept that plea, sir. And the fine is $170. And for a civil infraction, Mr. Roberson, the time to pay is 14 days. We will dismiss the remaining matter previously read into the record pursuant to the prosecutor's offer. So $170.
Okay.
And 14 days, can you pay that within 14 days, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
And I'm not sure, Madam Clerk, does Mr. Roberson have any mandatory fees on the dismiss charge?
I apologize, Your Honor. Were you asking me a question?
I was asking you on the charge that we dismissed, the misdemeanor for Mr. Roberson. Does he have any mandatory fees with it?
No, Your Honor, he's.
So it's just going to be that. Thank you. It's just going to be that $170 to be paid within 14 days.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Roberson, you can pay that online if you want. 36districtcourt.org or the DivDat app.
Okay.
All right, sir, you may disconnect from the hearing. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. You have a good one.
Thank you. Now, we have two more people, Melvina Dew and James Davis, but we seem to have lost Miss Barrett.
Yes, she's coming back in right now. I apologize, Your Honor. I'm trying to get the
I'm
ticket
sorry,
for that trial.
That's
I
okay.
didn't have the original ticket,
I
so it's fine.
disconnect.
What
Sorry, I
about
disconnected.
Melvina Dew? Is Melvina Dew still with us?
She is, and I also have a dismissal for Durant.
Oh, good. Okay. So we can call Mr. Durant and Miss Dew. You can bring them both out.
Okay.
Sorry about that, Judge. I disconnected myself. I'm trying to speak, but anyway.
All right. Is it Lawrence Durant?
Yes.
All right, sir. Case number SP 117-86211. Lawrence Durant, the charge is no insurance. Also, SP 122-73981. Same defendant, driver's license suspended. Mr. Durant, if you're in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Lawrence Durant III.
Thank you, Mr. Durant. Who's representing Mr. Durant?
Alita Baird on behalf of Lawrence Durant.
Thank you, Ms. Barrett. I understand the prosecutor is moving to dismiss this matter. Is that your information?
Yes, Judge, no objection.
All right, it is so ordered. Mr. Durant, both matters are dismissed pursuant to the prosecutor's recommendation. And I don't know, Madam Clerk, if Mr. Durant has any mandatory fees.
I did not see any, Your Honor, but let me check just to make sure. No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Durant, sir, you may disconnect from the hearing. Your matters are dismissed.
Okay,
No
thank
cost,
you.
no fees. You're welcome.
Y'all
All
have a
right.
good one.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your patience.
Okay,
Melvina
thank you.
Dew. Thank you. SP
Good morning.
18881. Melvina Odessa Dew.
Yes, ma'am.
And the charge is no insurance. Count two, that same ticket, improper license. Ms. Dew, if you are in the virtual courtroom, please say your name for the record.
Melvia Odessa do.
Probably if I can go pay that shit today, like.
Okay, I'm going to, can we help Mr. Durant?
Right there on my Duke Street.
He's stuck in here. Okay, thank you. Okay, Ms. Barrett.
Melvia Odessa do.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, Ms. Dew, you said your name for the record, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And who's representing Ms. Dew?
Melita Baird on behalf of Melvina Dew. Judge, she was offering a plea. She was going to accept the plea offer to improper plates.
Okay, and which, is that going to be to count two or count one?
I think it's count two, Judge. No,
License improper. So that's going to be amended to improper plates.
yes.
Count one is being
Melvina Dew.
dismissed.
No, Judge, she's playing to count two, which is improper plates. And then count one is going to be dismissed,
Okay,
which
so
is no insurance.
okay, so no amendment, just count one dismissed and count two she's pleading.
Yes.
Right? Okay, Ms. Dew, you've heard the representation of your lawyer. Are you in agreement with that representation?
Yes, ma'am. And I was told to ask you about in regards to, I had my grandmother to come down there to post the bond for me.
Okay, let's do this part first, and then we
Okay.
will talk about that bond, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so were you advised of your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And you understand that if you were to have a trial, it would normally take place inside the 36th District Court, but because of the pandemic, the courthouse is closed to the public, and so you have agreed to participate on Zoom technology today. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Dew, did you have an opportunity to speak to the attorney about all of your rights?
Yes, ma'am.
Did anyone threaten you, force you, or promise you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
Are you pleading guilty of your own free will?
Yes.
Are you pleading guilty because you are in fact guilty?
Yes.
And do you understand that by pleading guilty, you will be waiving or giving up your right to a trial?
Yes, ma'am.
And despite giving up your rights, it's my understanding you wish to go forward with the guilty plea. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Stu, would you please raise your right hand and be sworn? Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge and belief?
Yes, ma'am.
Miss Du, on the date, the time, and the location indicated in the ticket ending in 80882, were you driving a motor vehicle in the city of
Yes.
Detroit? Were you stopped by a police officer?
Yes.
Did that officer ask you for a valid driver's license?
Yes.
And were you able to produce a valid driver's license for that officer?
No, I was not.
Ms. Barrett, are you satisfied?
Yes.
The court will accept the guilty plea, being satisfied with the factual basis. We will accept the recommendation to dismiss the remaining charge previously read into the record. Okay, now, Ms. Du, you wanted to talk to me about the bond your grandmother posted,
Yes.
and that bond was $100?
If I'm not mistaken, it was $300 total.
Okay, now what I'm seeing here is 100. Oh, let's
Let
see,
me look and see if there's other tickets.
170 and 100. Is that right? So
I'm sorry, ma'am. Can you repeat that?
I've got 270 as the total.
Okay, so it was roughly $300.
Well, no, 270 is $30 less than 200. They're going to record it precisely as it was paid. So that's $270. Now, Ms. Du, what I think is going to happen, I do not think they will give back that bond. In fact, I know they won't. So you are going to, because you are an honest, caring, loving granddaughter, repay your grandmother what you owe her, right?
Actually, I had gave her the money. I sent them the money because I'm actually in Memphis right now.
Okay.
So I sent them the money to go take care of it for me so that I could.
So they will
date.
apply that. They'll apply that 270 to your costs and fines,
Okay.
which are going to be $240 plus your mandatory $45. So that's a total of $285. But, and that's it. There's no other, let's see, that includes, will that include her two clearance fees, Madam Clerk? 285?
I'm sorry. So I did look into it a little bit more for her bonds being posted, Your Honor. There are 3 bonds that are posted. The 2 that she's being seen for today are $50 each. And then there is a $200 bond that was posted on another matter.
Oh, so that matter, when is that matter being heard?
Let me look.
Did you know that, Miss Du, you have another ticket?
I know when before when I did my Zoom, they were supposed to have changed it and put me all under one person, because the last time they had me at seeing different judges at the same time. So I was supposed to be taking care of everything at one time today.
And they must not have done that, Your Honor, because this ticket that the $200 is posted on is still before Judge Sabri.
Oh my goodness. And when is that scheduled to be heard?
That is actually in warrant status. And so I don't know why that would be, because she posted a bond on it. I would have to look into it. I can try and see if Madam Prosecutor can incorporate this in and check with Judge Sabri.
Would you try?
Okay.
Let's see if we can do that for Miss Du. Miss Du, I'm going to ask you to remain on the line And we'll see if we can get that other ticket combined with these today so that all matters can be resolved today. So it's going to be just a few more minutes if you don't mind.
I don't mind. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, so while you're waiting, we're going to put you back in the waiting room. We'll pull you out when we're ready to go on your case. And we're going to call James Davis. So Ms. Barrett, there's going to be another matter for Ms. Dew. And the court is calling James Davis. Case number SP 107420301. James Michael Davis, open alcohol in a motor vehicle passenger. Mr. James Michael Davis, if you're in the virtual courtroom, sir, please say your name for the record.
How you doing? James Michael Davis, Jr.
Thank you, sir. And who's representing Mr. Davis?
Melita Barrett on behalf of James Davis.
Thank you. And Ms. Barrett, how do you wish to proceed?
Well, was this a dismissal because the clerk was checking into this matter and I didn't get information back on that?
My information is that it's a plea, but Madam Clerk?
Your Honor, no, this has not been handled or addressed before. There were some other tickets that were closed recently, but this particular ticket has not been addressed prior.
Okay, and Mr. Davis, so did you speak to him at all, Ms. Barrett?
Well, yeah, yes, Judge, I did speak to him and he had told me that he thought that this ticket was handled and I asked the clerk just gave that information. So Judge, based upon the fact he's saying he thought it was handled and the clerk said it isn't, I would ask for a trial date for him.
Okay.
Because he did not want to plead guilty because he felt it was handled.
Okay. Is that correct, Mr. Davis?
Yes.
All right,
I
sir.
had last time I went to court, they made me pay a lot of stuff and I thought they closed it out, but they gave me another court date when I already took care of everything.
Well, this one
understand
hasn't been closed, apparently. Is that right, Madam Clerk?
Correct.
All right, sir, then we will continue a not guilty plea for you if that's what you wish. We will give you a trial date on which to return. And that trial date is May, Madam Clerk, let me see.
May 5th.
May 5th. Okay, thank you. That trial date is May 5th. And it will be a Zoom connection the same way you connected today on May 5th. And we will continue your personal bond. So you don't have to pay any additional money, but you must return on May 5th, 8:30 in the morning by Zoom.
And what's this what we doing this time?
Open passenger with open alcohol in a motor vehicle.
Yeah, I know what the ticket, but the last time I came to court, paid all that money. What was that for?
I don't
understand.
That's not before me now. Get a copy. You know what you should do, Mr. Davis? Get a copy of your outstanding matters and closed matters. If you get a copy of your record with the 36th District Court, it will tell you exactly which matters have been resolved and which remain.
I took care. I only had 2 tickets last time. That's what the last court date was for. That's how I paid all that money. And they still gave me court dates when I don't owe anything.
That's why I'm asking you to get a copy of your record so you can see everything. And then you can check off what has been resolved by the ticket number. Just put your name in and check off those matters that have been resolved. Just go to 36th
So the last time I came to court, what was that?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't have my file on deck or anything? Last time I came to court, I paid for all those tickets. It got settled last time. And they issued me another court date for no reason. I already took care of all these tickets. So I don't understand why I keep having to come to court for stuff I already took care of.
I don't know.
Mr. Davis, can I give you a phone number and you can call me after we're done with the morning docket and I can try and research it a little bit more?
Yeah, you can give me a number.
All right, it's 965 2290. And if you call me, because there's a lot of tickets for me to go through and it would take a long time and hold up the docket. Call me after 1 and I will try to look at all your tickets and see.
Okay.
Okay, so in the meanwhile, sir, I'm going to give you that court date so that you aren't just hanging out there with nothing to come back to. So we're
Another
still gonna
court
give
date.
that May 5th. And if we find, Mr. Davis, that your matters have been closed, we'll take care of it. But just in case they haven't, May 5th, all right? Just call us, same way you did today, sir. Okay? Thank you. And we're continuing your personal bond. All right, now, that is the last matter that I have ready. So we have one person that Melvina Dew that is waiting for, is she waiting for the prosecutor, Miss Barrett?
She should. I thought we did her. We did her.
No, we have an add-on, Your Honor. Remember, I am waiting on Madam Prosecutor.
For Miss Dew?
Yes.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
All right, so
And
let's,
for Driscoll, that's the trial.
Right.
And
We
I
need
had
the
to get a copy
prosecutor
of
on
the
that.
original ticket.
okay. All right, so shall we leave the live stream or are you ready to go back on?
Uh,
With
we
the
can
trial?
leave the live stream.
Okay.